of us finding out what it is that we are good at and finding out what it is that we love doing and making sure that we're doing that and making sure that in the areas that we're not strong, we get help and plug the gaps and plug the weaknesses. So the opening statement really is, to be successful in business, you must be doing what you love. You've got to find what you love, the eternal search. The only way to be truly satisfied, as Steve Jobs says, is to do what you believe is great work, and the only way to do great work is to love what you do. It's pretty undeniable, isn't it? Now I want to talk about, what is a business worth? Let's look at that car up there, nice fancy shiny red sports car, and your average street bike. Which one's worth more? Well, I'm going to ask you before I answer that question, or maybe you've already answered that question, by asking this question. In what context? Most people would be tempted to say that the car would sell for more. But I can give you circumstances where the bike would be worth more. If the car's got no petrol and you need to get somewhere to save your life, the bike may very well save your life. What's your life worth? The car, you'd give it away. You'd take $2 for it to get a ride on that bike, for which you would pay $1 million if it saved your life. So how can we look in the real world now at the types of businesses that are valuable and the types of businesses that aren't valuable? On the left-hand side, we have risk, and the right-hand side, we have return on investment. High risk requires high return on investment. Low risk will permit a low return on investment. On the right-hand side, you see the scale goes from 100% return on investment. That's pretty risky if you want your money back in a year's time, compared to, say, money in the bank, where you're prepared to wait 20 years to get your money back as interest on the initial principal sum invested. So you can see that in the world of small business in which I operate, the returns on investment go from around about that 100% down to around about 20%. And right in the middle is 33%. And you will see that most businesses come in at around that 33%. That's money back in 3 years, or 3 times profit, same thing. Now, what types of businesses are high risk? Well, you know them out there. You see them out there. Unfashionable businesses. People think certain businesses won't last long. They won't be around maybe in 5 years' time. One of the key questions for anyone selling or buying a business: will this business still be relevant? Will it be needed? Will the product or service still be in demand in 5 years' time? So characterised typically by businesses that rely on personal selling rather than ongoing sales or expected sales. Businesses that are highly reliant on owner or can be easily entered into that market by competitors. Little infrastructure, little track record, not much to recommend them. You can see the types of business that we lump at this high risk end of the spectrum. Down the low risk end, we have other businesses. As opposed to being unfashionable, we have businesses that are in growth. Now, larger businesses will sell for more generally than smaller businesses. Businesses that have a strong brand, have protection under the law, ongoing income as opposed to income that relies on a sales force to get out there and sell. Highly systemised and consistent growth over a period of time. Let's see what this means when we look at particular types of businesses. So high risk, service or retail. I'm not saying all service, but typically retail businesses or low-end service businesses. You might think of lawn mowing businesses. Hairdressing, cleaning. Real estate, I'm talking about the sales side of the real estate, not the property management. You'll see that appears down below. Small manufacturing businesses that are making things in Australia that may not continue to be made in Australia in the future. A catering business, which can rely on the strength, as will a restaurant, rely on the strength and reputation of the owner. Clients come and go. as opposed to those in blue. Look at those categories and you can see that the property management side of the real estate is strong because it's ongoing income. Clients are in place and are continuing to pay on a regular basis for property management services. Online businesses, niche products that are in demand. Obviously, when I spoke before about systems and brand, I was talking about franchise businesses. They will generally command a higher multiple of income as their purchase price than non-franchise businesses. Hotels are an example of businesses that are protected by law, and caravan parks look very much like residential property investments, very safe indeed, and you'll see very low returns on investment coming from those low risk style businesses. So if I were to summarize then about the rules of selling your business, these are the things to make sure that you do. Prepare early, and we'll have a look at a business plan, a very simple business plan at the moment. Too simple, I almost hesitate to say it's a business plan, but it should be the basis of every business plan. We'll look at this shortly. But systemize. Systemize, systemize, systemize. Reduce to the simple. 1-page, 2-page systems. Reduce the importance and reliance of people, although people will always be important, and bring people within a systematic operation of the business so that the people will be better as they're following systems. Form your team. Lawyer, business broker, accountant, coach, financier. These are the people you need to bring into your plan for the sale of your business. Reduce your influence as the owner. Key, key, key. This is the one. If a business buyer comes along and sees that you are too important in that business, you're going to lose. You're going to lose value by virtue of that fact. And build trust. Build trust. The person that comes to you sees your business, sees a brand, sees something that they can rely on for the future as far as ongoing income is concerned. So, typically, what does a business plan look like? So we need to know where we are now, where we want to go, and how we're going to get there. Is that too simple for a business plan? The simpler the better. So, where are we now involves strengths and weaknesses that we spoke about before. Not just where we are financially, where we are in time, where we are in the different cycles in business, but where we are and what we've got and what we need to get where we want to go and how we're going to get there. And whilst the solutions to business problems may involve somewhat more complex questions and answers, if they're not coming back to answer that simple schema there, you might be going in too deeply. So, what do I say about the world of small business? Well, it looks like this. And this was said many, many years ago. The economy gets strong, goes weak, goes through cycles all the time. When is a good time to buy a business? Good question. When's a good time to sell a business? Good question. Obviously, best time to sell is just before the peak, and the best time to buy is just before the rise from the trough. But there are opportunities all the way up the arc and all the way down the slippery slide. But this is fundamentally true and universally true. Success in business requires training and discipline and hard work. But if you're not frightened by these things, the opportunities are just as great today as they ever were. Thanks for listening to this program, and I hope to see you soon. And if you ever need assistance in selling your business, just go to bc.com.au. That's bc.com.au, or Google Tony Arena in Australia.